What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to bring you my top accessory recommendations for using your MacBook Pro or MacBook as a laptop and a desktop. So this will mainly apply to those group of people who are going to use it for dual purposes like I've been doing for the past month. So these will be accessories that may apply to you, they may not, but I think they are good overall choices if you're looking to use your laptop as a desktop and laptop. So I have the base model 16-inch M1 MacBook Pro. I recently had a very nice desktop, a very nice Intel or ThinkPad laptop from Lenovo, and I decided that I got tired of using two systems, switched to one. So these are the top accessories that I think you need in order to make this work and maybe a little bit more functional to you. This doesn't apply to the desk and chair. I think that's pretty common knowledge for a desk and chair. So let's go from there and start with the peripherals. So first, you're going to need a mouse and a keyboard. There's a few different ways you can go with this. I have had good luck with Logitech mice before. This is a very cheap, I think it's the M720 travel mouse. I'm not really positive. It's like $25. I will likely get the Logitech with the MX3 Master or whatever it is. It's $100 key or mouse. Those are the options I'd probably get. I like a Bluetooth one just because I don't like all the wires everywhere, and I find that the lag and just connectivity between using that and the receiver don't have a problem. So you need a good solid mouse for your system. There's a million options out there. You get Logitech, Razer, you could get Apple's own, but I like the Logitech options because you could have a $25 one and $100 and some one, and I find they all fit pretty good within the hand and have good software, good connectivity. So that's my first recommendation. The second one is going to be a keyboard. There's a few options, a few different choices you can go with here. I currently have the Tofu. This is the Tofu 65 from KBD Fans. It's a fully customized, pre-built mechanical keyboard with Zilio switches. This is way overkill for your keyboard. If you're going to go with the Mac OS, I would try to get a Mac-based keyboard. So I, in the future, will probably get one of Logitech's, probably their MX Master, the full-size keyboard, mainly because they have it in a Mac OS layout. So this is a Windows layout, and everything's kind of mapped as if it was a Windows keyboard, which is a little annoying when you're trying to go from one system to the other and it be a fluid experience. So that's my two, maybe not top choices, but the things you're going to use the most. The other one is going to be monitor. So you have all kinds of options. I would recommend, this is just my personal preference, if you're doing type of video, photo work, productivity, some type of 4K monitor, 27-inch, 32-inch. I have a 32, but I think I would actually be more productive with a 27-inch because a 32 is just a little too big. So maybe two 27 inches or a 27-inch and maybe a smaller one, or use your actual laptop as a second display. You could do that. You can use an iPad if you have one of those, if you use Sidecart. So that's good options, but I think a solid 4K panel doesn't have to be expensive. The one I have here cost me, I think, around $350 at Costco years ago. I've had this for a couple years. It's fairly color accurate, not the most color accurate. It does have bezels around it, so it's not the most modern or current, but it's a pretty solid choice for the price point. So you could go all the way from $350 all the way up to $5,000, depending on what you want to get there. A nice 4K monitor. If you're video editing or gaming, I don't know anything about gaming, so choose whatever monitor fits your needs. So I think that's another option, or another thing you need to really look into spending a decent amount of money on, because that and the peripherals are stuff that you use all the time. So the fourth thing is going to be some type of stand for your actual MacBook. So I just have a Rain Design one here. I recently did a kind of a review and unboxing of it. It is a solid option. It's a little pricey at $50, but you can get basically any stand that fits your needs from $20 to $100, depending on what you want there. So I do think you need some type of stand, whether you want it opened, closed, and clamshell. It just depends on your needs. But that's another thing that I think you need to look into, and there's tons of options on Amazon. Almost too many. It's a little bit overwhelming. Fourth is going to be probably some type of USB-A dongle. I have anchor one hidden back here. Basically, it's a USB-C to 4 USB-A, and that's the only dongle I need. It plugs everything into it. I may recommend getting Ethernet, some type of Ethernet dongle, which if you're within an Ethernet range where you can plug it in, I think it's a good option if you want faster internet speeds. That's it for those. If you need an SD card or a CF Express, obviously you're going to need that, but I find that the USB-A or USB-C to 4 USB-A is probably my #1 recommendation because I can plug everything in there. Mouse, keyboard, and that's going to take us to our 5th. This is more of a splurge when it comes to accessories, but I would recommend some type of amp DAC and some type of decent headphones. So this is kind of a dark hole. You can go many different routes. I currently have the shit Magni 3 Plus and Modi 3 Plus. I believe that's what their actual names are. $100 amp, $100 DAC. This is all you need for solid audio. They will drive any headphones you want out there, and I have the Sennheiser, the HD600s. Mainly because I picked them up at a work discount for about $240, $225, which is a really good price. They go on sale often. They are about 10-plus-year-old headphones, but they are solid, neutral, warm sounding headphones. So I would splurge and go that route, especially if you're doing any type of video editing, just because while the speakers on the MacBook are good, usually the ones on the monitor stink, and when it's in clamshell, the speakers just don't sound very good. So either invest in some type of headphones, amp DAC, or some type of already pre-powered desktop speakers would be my other recommendation there. So that's really the 5 things that I think you really need in order to make a laptop work as a desktop. You can spend as little or as much as you want depending on your budget, but that's what I would recommend. That's the stuff I use every single day. I would maybe look into a monitor arm, especially if you buy a cheap monitor. That would be something, maybe a little bit extra if you can have another $50, $60 and get a nice monitor arm, which I have, which just makes moving the monitor around way easier than it does with the stand, which the stand with this monitor was junk. Most stands with monitors under $500 aren't very good. And it has a little bit, so I can have a little bit extra room in here so I can hide stuff under here. Just makes your desk look, I think, a little bit more presentable and have a little bit more room on it without that stand there. And the stand I had with mine was really wobbly, so it used to wobble around all the time. This is pretty solid. It's just a gas spring monitor arm. So that's it. That is my recommendation. Maybe a house plant, get some plants or something. It's not something that's needed, but I think it overall spruces up the place, get some clean air, and that's it. If you have any comments, questions, or if you find this useful or not useful, let me know either way. And have a good rest of the day, weekend, whatever's out there, and I'll see you guys next time.